If you're conversant with cutting walls in Revit and how they work, you know that cutting walls don't truly curve. Even when you use a curved draw tool and draw them in a curved path like so, when I zoom in, you'll see the panels are flat and the mullions are straight. Now, what if I told you that there is a way you can get these panels to truly curve and the mullions to actually bend, giving us a truly curved cutting wall system? And it's actually pretty simple and straightforward. You just have to do two things. Now, if you want to know what these two things are, keep watching. Welcome back. My name is Chukwudi. Thank you so much for joining us on our channel. If this is the first time you are watching our channel, if this is the first time we are meeting, you're absolutely welcome. Nice to meet you. On this channel, we cover a lot of stuff, but predominantly we talk about stuff that help architects and designers improve their workflow and maximize productivity in their workplace. So you're welcome. Don't forget to subscribe if this is your kind of thing, okay? Hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you get notifications every single time we post a new video. Smash the like button for us, as that helps us with the YouTube algorithm and help you to recommend this video to more people. Right. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, without any further ado, let's jump into Revit and get this thing over with. Alright, for us to start, let's go ahead and create a cutting wall. Chair. With a serial glazing. Let's draw an arc. As an example. Okay. Now let's go ahead and add some mullions to this cutting wall because this doesn't have mullions. In the placement panel, on the modify place tab, select all grid lines. Click the cutting panel. That will create mullions on all the possible places that it can create mullions. So here is the problem. Okay, when you come in closer, you find out that the mullions and the cutting panels, they are not actually curved. Okay, the mullions are straight, the cutting walls are flat. So what we need to do is we need to make the mullions to actually bend and actually to make the panels to curve, to give us that perfect curves, that truly curved shape that we're looking for. So to begin, the first thing we need to do, I told you there are two things you have to do. So now the first thing you need to do is you need to create a panel with which you're going to replace these default panels. A panels that can curve, unlike the one we already have. To begin creating that panel, we're going to use wall. Okay, so we're just going to use a wall. We're going to duplicate this wall and we're going to create a panel with this wall. Okay, so we're going to duplicate it and we're going to call it glass panel. All right. So let's edit and delete all this part that we don't need. Okay, delete this part. We are only going to leave the core. Okay, this structure. So we're going to change this one to the thickness. We're going to make it 15. The material, we are going to make it glass. Okay, you don't have to enter inside, so just type glass. Okay. By default, there is a glass material in there, so when you type glass here, it will just recognize it and remove. Okay, I selected glass, for the sake of, graphics. So if I change my view, style to shaded, you will see. You can see that the panel we just created is looking similar to what we have already. Let me change it back to hidden line. So let me go ahead and change this panel. So to change the panel, all you need to do is select the cutting panel that you have, the cutting wall system that you have. Then click on the edit type to bring out the type properties. Okay, in this construction section you will see cutting panel. Okay, click on the none, okay, so that the drop down will become active. Select the drop down and then go ahead and find the panel that we just created. Okay, look at it over here, click on it and then click OK. Now let's see the effect of what we just done. You can see, let me turn it to shaded. You can see that the cutting wall is already looking so nice. Okay, it's already curved the way it should. Now its curving has made it leave these mullions behind. So now we need to create a different mullion which can bend so as to follow our new cutting panels that is now curving the way they should. You can see the cutting wall curving. You can see it curving properly, unlike the mullion. So for us to be able to do that, we need to get rid of these mullions that we have here already so we can put in new ones. Okay, so remove the mullions, come over here, okay, and you hit tab. You keep hitting tab till the mullion becomes highlighted like this. So you click on it to select it. Now I want to select everything once, okay, to save time. So all you need to do that is right click. You will see select mullions. Just hover around it. This drop down menu will come out by the side. Okay, I want to select all the mullions at once. Okay, what I have to select is all the mullions on horizontal grid. Okay, the vertical grids are going to be straight either way, so we don't need to delete them. So we need to remove the ones that have refused to bend, okay, that are affecting our curvature. So these are the ones. All right, so now I don't need to unpin it, but if assuming I was working with the straw front cutting wall, could have prompted me to unpin. When in that situation, we're just going to use the tool here to unpin everything once. But because my own scenario doesn't require me to do that, I'm just going to go ahead and delete it. All right, so this one over here, we select it by selecting one, right clicking, going over to select mullion and selecting the ones on grid panel. Okay, you see all of them are highlighted like so. So you delete it. Mind you, remember what I told you, if you need to unpin it, you have to unpin it on grid line, then you delete it too. Okay, so we have something like this. All right, now let's go ahead. The way we created this panel, let's go ahead and create a cutting 1 mullion 2. Okay, and we're going to use the same method. We're going to use a wall to do that. We're going to create a wall with a thickness of 150. So later on we are going to host that wall. I mean, take a look at how this panel is curving so smoothly. Can you see? All right, let me go back to what I was saying. So we're going to take that wall that we have turned into a cutting panel and we're going to host it on this cutting panel. In so doing, we will now achieve that very smooth curvature that we are looking for. To do that, select wall tool, okay, like before, draw a sample of it, click on it and edit it, bring out the type properties, let's go into the structure, and then first of all let's go back and duplicate it. I'm going to call it mullions 50 x 150, that's 50 by 150 mm, and then say okay. All right, so we're going to delete all these finishes layers. We're going to leave this one. We're going to make this one 150 mm, and like we did before, we don't need to go inside. Okay, we can just type aluminium. All right, and to recognize it. Okay, so we'll click OK and then we'll click OK. So now we have what we are looking for. We have the aluminium, we have the mullion 50 by 150. Okay, this is how it works. We are going to create double grid lines. Okay, we're going to create another grid line here and here. In fact, all the places we have horizontal grid line, we're going to make it double. All right, let's go ahead and do that. So we'll come over to the build panel of the architectural tab. You will see cutting grids. Click on it. When you hover over horizontal elements, you're going to see vertical dotted lines. When you hover around vertical elements, you're going to see horizontal dotted lines. Okay, so go ahead and select it. Once you do that, adjust the height immediately. Okay, so we're going to make it 50. I'm going to explain to you why we are making it 50. All right, so let's make this one 52. Okay, 50. The same thing happens here too. And then last but not least, 50. So the reason why we are creating these double panels is because we want to change the panels in between this place into a mullion. Okay, so this is very, very effective. It is also being compliant. Okay, you will also get information from this, which you can use both internally and be able to export it outwards for other professionals to do important computations with. So the reason why we're going to do that is because we need something that bends, because mullions will always be mullions. Mullions can never bend. Okay, unless you create a special mullion in advanced modeling where you create a mullion that bends. Okay, but you don't need to do all that right now. You can do it this way and it's still going to be very effective and realistic, and also being compliant, which is very important. All right, so to do that, all we need to do is select this cutting panel here and then change that panel to this wall that we just created. Okay, mind you, the thickness of that wall is 150 and then the height of this panel is 50. So that is going to give us exactly the same type of mullion we have here, which is 50 by 150 on the horizontal grids. To select that, there's a way we can select everything at once. Okay, but first of all, let me change this into hidden line. Press the HL on your keyboard to change to hidden line. First of all, you have to select one. Okay, so you hit tab till you highlight it. Now it is being highlighted, so click on it to select it, then right click. You see select panel. You now select along the horizontal grid. As you can see, everything has been highlighted. Okay, so unpin everything once, like I was telling you before, by clicking this button over here, unpin. Everything is now unpinned. So we'll now come over here and find the wall that we just created. This is it here, mullion 50 by 150. So you click on it, you will see. Okay, see how it is. Unlike the mullion we have before, this particular mullion is curving perfectly. Okay, it's curving perfectly with the cutting panels, which we have changed to. Okay, so let's go ahead and change the other ones, and we're going to do everything once this time around. So you hit the tab button till you are highlighting it like so. You come over here, you hit the tab button. Now before I select this one, I'm going to hold down the control button, okay, and then click, then also tab. You hold down the control button and you click. Go ahead and hit the tab button and you click. Now I'm going to right click, select panels along the vertical grid. No, sorry, along the horizontal grid. All right, this thing gets confusing sometimes. You can see all of them are selected. Unpin them all at once and then change the glass panel to mullion 50 by 150. Okay, you can see everything is showing up as they should. Let me change this into shaded so you can appreciate it even more. You can see that the panel is now curved and then the mullion is now bending just like we want it to. All right, that's it for this tutorial. I think this tutorial was really simple today. If you like this video, hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on notifications so you get notifications every single time we post. My name is Chukwudi. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in my next video.